Thank you for listening to the Business and Beyond podcast.
We appreciate all of our listeners. If this is your first time listening to the Business and Beyond podcast, we hope you enjoy this episode. Episode 48 of the Business and Beyond podcast is brought to you by Hawks Event Rental. Coming into this time of year, we're getting into the holidays and the great debate. And I put it up.
Debate about when you put Christmas up?
The great debate about when you put Christmas decorations up. I rank it up there with the debate on vaccines.
Driving in through your neighborhood, it looks like 30% of your neighbors have their Christmas decorations, Christmas lights up.
And I compare it with the vaccines not because it's an important issue. It's more that it's not a situation where you do you, I'll do me. It's if you don't want your Christmas lights up, you have an issue with other people putting their Christmas lights up, and vice versa. Mm-hmm. I hear it just as much from people who do put their Christmas lights up. Now it's right after Halloween, and they're wondering why you haven't put your Christmas lights up.
Yeah.
And
well, it's the same. I mean, you see all the Black Friday sales that have been going on already. I mean, pretty much from November 1st, Walmart put out Black Friday sales, and they're starting, and every week they have different sales going on. I mean, I saw a funny thing. I actually tagged my wife in it. That it was like the month of October, November, December, like it had those, and it had everything before except for Thanksgiving Day. It said Christmas. It was all highlighted Christmas, and then Thanksgiving Day said Thanksgiving. Yeah. And everything after it said Christmas. Yeah. So if Christmas is all the months around except that one day they give to Thanksgiving.
I'm always one that combines Halloween in with the holidays. That's when the holiday season starts. You get Halloween. So I couldn't care less. If they want to put their Christmas lights up, fine. We went last week and had Christmas pictures. I mean, we weren't dressed Christmassy, but they were our Christmas pictures we were going to do. And when we were finished, I mean, it was like 75 degrees. We had sweaters and everything. I didn't put mine on until we took the pictures.
And they're gonna Photoshop snowflakes in it. And
no, they were gonna Photoshop some. When you have a 3-year-old taking pictures, he does good for about 60% of the time, and then he will not smile. So they have some Photoshop to do. But we were kind of like, let's listen to Christmas music now. We're kind of in the mood, and I'm one that I could do without Christmas music until after Thanksgiving. But you hear it one time, okay, you're in the spirit. You're like, okay, now I want to hear it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I typically don't. I won't put my Christmas lights up until after Thanksgiving. Not for a political reason. Like I have to wait. I just procrastinate.
We will put ours up this coming weekend.
Yeah,
they'll be up. So, and that for only the fact that we travel through the holidays, through Thanksgiving week.
Yeah,
and traveling back and not being able to do it that weekend before, then you're looking at like the second weekend, or first weekend in December. You're only like 3 weeks to Christmas at that point. So it's almost what's the point of putting them up?
Yeah,
so
that's why
we will put them up the weekend before Thanksgiving.
Yeah, for all the work.
Only because we'll be gone traveling.
And for all the work, you want to leave them up till at least New Year's.
We usually leave them up a week or so after New Year's. I mean, we like to enjoy them, having them up. We put a lot up, and every year we add to it. So.
Ours is kind of a process. It's not like one point we put everything up. There's random decorations up. We kind of do inventory, putting stuff out, see what we need. I did take my Christmas tree down last week and put it up. I mean, it's a pre-lit tree, so to make sure it all worked. So to test it, you have to put it all the way up, and obviously I'm not going to take it down. And it works, so we're good. We wanted to make sure that we didn't have to go out and buy a new one.
Yeah.
So, but the kids always want it on, and at night I want to just turn it off. And like, people are going to see this on from the streets, and they're going to think we're weirdos. But
my wife has been on me for 2 weeks to put the Christmas up.
Yeah, that's what I was like. You can do whatever you want inside. I'm putting the outside lights after.
I have to get in the attic to get the stuff down, and I have put my foot down. We made an agreement. We'll do it the weekend before. We will do it the weekend before.
Yeah,
and I've stood my ground, and I'm a couple days from being there. So.
Yes. Speaking of, we put up our tree. I want to make sure that I do it so early because we have to go buy a tree. I want to make sure we can buy a tree, especially this year. Moving into obviously Black Friday's coming up. We talk about some instances it's already going on.
Yeah.
Deals online, and which is cool or whatever. I like to get good deals without having to go out. But I kind of, even if I don't go out, I like knowing, hey, there's this cumulative thing, this community thing everybody in the United States is doing.
Yeah.
Lining up Black Friday, even though I'm sleeping
to
in.
buy a bunch of shit.
Yeah, I'm sleeping in early,
12
but it's
months,
a nice, fun.
No one's going to remember you even gave them that gift.
Exactly, but it's just fun knowing it's all, everything's happening,
Yeah.
and everyone's kind of experiencing the same thing. So as long as you still are lining up at midnight or even earlier,
Yeah.
For Black Friday, it's all good. But this year has been different. I mean, last year, I don't remember off the top of my head if there were a lot of shortages, but it was a lot of things where they said, don't come here. We're going to just do it all online. We're going to do it early. They want to make sure people weren't mingling and getting in big groups. Now, depending on where you're at, you're kind of past that.
Well, and that was something to go back and preface, like we talked about. Walmart has started. They've had, I think they're on their second or third week of, well, I guess probably second week of Black Friday deals that they have that they unroll. That, and I don't know if it was Walmart specific that I heard, but possibly it was through maybe Target or someone. They're spreading out the sales to keep big crowds of people from congregating.
Yeah.
So they're hoping some people will buy now, and then you have some buy later, and then some at the very end will get out and purchase. And they're hoping to spread that out, is what I heard.
And what's funny is you see how things change and go back and forth, what's in and what's not in. And, and for the last few years, which I hated, certain stores have been opening earlier and earlier. Now, it's not 3 a.m. on Black Friday, then 2, and then midnight, and then it's like 6 o'clock on Thanksgiving night.
Yeah.
And they're like, hey, look
like
what we're doing. It's
morning.
cool. It's cool. And now I'm seeing commercials. Hey, we're giving our employees time to be with their families. We're opening up on Black Friday. Like, it's the moral thing to do. Like, you were just bragging last year.
The year before COVID, you were doing that, and now all of a sudden...
Yeah, it's like, hey, maybe
that's what we needed, was that reset. COVID, we talked about it before. It's helped so many things. Maybe that was a good thing COVID did, was it reset that, where, hey, you know what? These people aren't going to be working because we're going to push more online sales. We're going to let people spend more time at home with their families.
Yeah, and it's just another way to advertise, to stick out there. Like, at this point, at this time of year, it's almost like November election campaigns. It's you don't want to keep hearing the negative ads. It just all blur. And then when you hear Black Friday sale, unless you're looking for something specific, it's all just a blur in your mind. But then you hear, we're not opening on Thanksgiving. We're giving, it just kind of sticks out a little bit. But not to pretend that some of these companies are doing this for moral reasons. We all know. It's just fun to make fun of them, to saying, 1 year you're saying this, trying to brag you're the better company, opening at 6 p.m.
You're taking credit for what's happening.
Yeah, so like a few years ago you weren't caring about your employees, and I think it's just one of those funny things that people don't, everyone's attention spans are so short these days that unless we're researching and doing a podcast, you're not even thinking about that. Yeah,
no, you don't even realize. So, I mean, you would have to be living under a rock. And even then, you probably understand and know the supply chain issues. I mean, we've been dealing with them in the housing industry. We've been dealing with them in construction. We've been dealing with them on your grocery store shelves, your, paper products. Everything's been a shortage, right? I mean, you can't go into a grocery store and it be... you
can edit that out.
Your grocery store shelves, they're empty, right? I mean, they're scarce in most things. So now we're starting to see that with the holiday season coming, that there still is that impact, and now it's going to be impacted on our electronics, our toys, clothing, all these holiday essentials, I guess nowadays that we would through this shopping season. And what really blows my mind with that is, how are we still having all these Black Friday deals? How they have these sales if there's shortages on items?
Well, I'm not going to link it or anything, but recently I was on a podcast with a guy who started getting up a podcast. It was a political podcast, and we were talking about perception versus reality, what's really going on. And realistically, there aren't shortages. It's a supply chain issue.
Yeah.
Overall, we've, in this time of day, we have more of everything we've ever needed than we ever have in the history. Like, you could go specific reasons why there's a meat shortage or whatever at different times, but we always catch back up. It's not like we're running out of anything. But going back, we have plenty of everything, and blame politicians all you want or do this and that, but it's a worldwide deal. It's not just happening here. And you want to talk about cargo ships being blocked. A lot of what's going on is you have demand. Coronavirus starts, and that demand goes away. But you've probably noticed it at work. I mean, you're not a manufacturer, or you weren't working as a manufacturer then. We didn't just say, okay, we'll stop making stuff. We continue to make it. We'd ship stuff out, and then they would ship it back saying, hey, nobody's, microchips, for example, nobody's buying cars right now, so they ship them back. So what they do is, okay, now we're going to stop making it because we have a surplus. We can't, some industries like lumber, building materials, it happened first. They stopped, and that started the shortages and the price increases. But microchips obviously go to more than just cars. But they send them out. Nobody's buying stuff. Send them back. And then all of a sudden, once you realize, hey, this is our new life for a while, people go, households go 3 or 4 computers because we have to do this for school. So all of a sudden, demand skyrockets.
Yeah.
So you're at demand as a 5, production as a 6. Demand goes down, production goes down, demand goes way up, and they're just trying to catch up. And really, that's just a simple way of putting it. Then you have different shutdowns for different regions of the countries of the world. Lots of different rules going on, and that there's really a system where we didn't really appreciate the logistical part of our world. It's just, we ordered this on Amazon, and it was here the next day or 2 days, and hats off to Amazon. They hadn't missed a beat. But there was a system in place, and we were just like, yep, that's good. And when it's gone, we're like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah.
And it's going to take time to get back. I mean, I'm not going to get into the politics of inflation and all this crap. I don't know if it'll ever go back to where it used to be, but it'll normalize, and our system, which there were holes that we didn't see that this just brought out.
Now we've seen.
And it'll just come back, and I don't know. Experts are saying sometime next year it'll be back to normal. But
yeah, I actually, just before we got on, I was watching a couple videos, a couple news stations, and some of those analysts, there's some that say they're thinking maybe second quarter of 22. There's some thinking maybe first quarter of 23 when we really will be back to what we know as normal.
Yeah, and that doesn't mean we're like we are right now until then. No. That just means we'll slowly improve. But we went so far down. It's not like gas shortages in the 80s or rationing, I guess. I mean, there was a shortage, but we call it gas rationing, where it's just like a temporary thing, and you're like, okay, thank God this is over. It's like we were hit down so hard. It's that we make it halfway back. We're like, okay, this is normal. Like, everything was shut down, and right now, I think, living in Texas right now, it's like everything seems to be wide open. But when you look at it, it really isn't. You still have to wear masks some places, which I don't really care about. And there are restrictions here. Some places you still have to, but I don't even think about those things because we just went from everything being shut down, being quarantined.
So now at least you have something.
Yeah. And it's a lot better than a lot of other places in the world and even in the country right now.
Yeah. I mean, these things, I mean, some of the stuff that's pushing the reason we have, the supply chain issue is, one, the labor shortage. That's one of the biggest parts of it. And that's what we're seeing in the ports with everything that we have imported, with chips to toys to shoes to, anything, all these electronics, is that these ports don't have enough employees to even get these cargo containers. I mean, that's why there's the backup of ships at sea, is because there's not enough employees to get these containers off the cargo ships.
And I didn't research it to know the number, but I would suspect there's a lot more cargo ships going in and out quicker, faster than normally because demand is so high. But you have people trying to catch up. Just in normal circumstances, okay, it'll take a while to catch back up, but then you're talking about labor shortages, and it's not just microchips. If it was just one item,
Yeah.
it may be a little different, but everything kind of goes on, and then people start panicking and buying too much toilet paper or this or that. People are posting on Facebook, not a lot of people, just a couple saying, doing serious videos. Like, who is this person? They must be some kind of expert. Like, no, they have nothing. They're just making a video saying it's coming. There's like, okay, you're going to say there's shortages coming. So people, at least in your local area or whoever watch your video, are going to go buy crap out because they're afraid. And then they're short on stuff. And you're like, see, I was right. There was a shortage when there wasn't even a shortage on toilet paper. There was nothing bad happening or nothing abnormal happening, except people were just buying it. People, supply chains and stores weren't designed to sell toilet paper to every single person right then.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, there's not a shortage. We just have to get things back. Now you have to say, okay, this truck that's normally how many ever X percent full of toilet paper, well, now we have to fill it up even more, and that backlog other products, and then people freak out more and buy more stuff, panic buy more, and it's hard to tell what's really a shortage and what's really just
what's an issue. What's the actual issue?
The side effect of the shortage.
Well, and part of that also is not just the shortage, but it's the expenses in this. I mean, trucking, I read, is up 91% from 2019. The cost to bring in a shipping container is up like 200%. The cost just to bring in.
And there was already a shortage of truckers.
Yeah, so you're definitely going to see a huge increase, not just with the shortages of products, but you're going to see an increase in prices of what you can get and find, at least for the short term. Long term, you get all these containers. I mean, you've seen the photos of these shipping yards.
Yeah.
I mean, just stacked deep with containers of products. Once they can finally get all those distributed, maybe that'll level things out. Prices can come down. The availability will be there.
Yeah, and the reason why it's, I want to say coming at a bad time, it's been happening for a while. I think just more publicity is put on it, but now demand's going even higher. Now
we're at the peak shopping season all year. I mean, we're there now. And to have shortages, I mean, it is a little bit worrisome to have a shortage at this time. Things like, you see all these Black Friday ads I've seen. My son asked for... He said he might be interested in a PS5. Not like a dead, I have to have it, but hey, you know what? I might want a PS5 if we can get one for Christmas. I was like, okay, cool. I look all these Black Friday ads. I'm like, okay, well, you start going online, sold out everywhere, right? Still the same thing from a year ago. I'm going to tell this story, and it just happened yesterday, and I'm not going to expose the company because I just don't think that's right to do. But there was a company... I guess we could say a phone repair company.
If you're watching on YouTube, the company just flashes real quick.
No, it's a phone repair company locally, and not Zapata's.
Yeah, I was about to say, wait a minute.
It's not Zapata, I can promise you that. Another phone repair company, and I follow them on Facebook, I guess, and I guess that's how I saw the ad they had. But they had an ad that they had PS5s, and they had this, $50 down, you make the payments. I'm like, that's cool. And I saw it for a couple of days. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to just message them and see what the cash price is. Like, if you got good deals, maybe you're financing these things. Well, if I just pay cash for one, what can you do? I message them, hey, what's your cash price? Yeah, we can do that. We'll get back with you. A couple hours later, they sent me a message like, okay, PS5, if you want the disc edition, is $1,250.
Ooh.
I said, what? So instantly, I deleted the message and I unfollowed them on Facebook because that's price gouging. That's over the top. I'm sorry. I mean, even if they're not available,
expose them. Come on, man.
I'm not going to expose them, but that to me that's ridiculous.
See,
really.
You need to go.
I was willing to pay a little bit over. I get, okay, you pay retail price, you're going to mark it up a little bit, $100. I mean, they're damn near 3 times the cost. I mean, I don't want it that bad. I'll take my chances on Monday. I think the Walmart's supposed to drop their PS5s on their official Black Friday sale. Yeah. They're supposed to have them. I'll take my chances. If we don't get one, we don't get one. But I'm not going to overpay. And I feel bad for the people that would go out and will finance through that company and probably put every dime they have just to try to get that for their kids. And
that
a company
that was the cash price.
they never gave me a cash price. They just said, hey, here's the price. We can finance it in-house if you want, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm like, no, I want to pay cash. Like, they're just trying to justify their price by, oh, we can finance it. It's only $50 down today. And it's like, no, I don't care.
Money's
about
not
that.
an issue. The
money's not
pay
the
it,
issue.
but that's not.
Yeah, but
if I ask my son, would you rather have these 20 things for $1,200? Like, I'm not spending $1,200 on one kid.
Exactly. That was my issue with it. And then, you know what? I'm not going to even go back at him and say anything. You guys, live with it. But I'm going to unfollow you, and I will not support your business.
You need to refollow them, search them, and we're going to have an exclusive show exposing this company. No, if reach out to us if you've seen stuff like this, price gouging, especially now when if you're in a situation where you want to expose them or whatever, but that's up to you. But you could let us know, and we could, warn certain people who.
And if anybody is wondering and wants to know who the business is, I'm not going to do it publicly, but I'll private message me, or if you got my number, text me, shoot me a private message or DM on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I'll tell you who it is. I'm gonna protect our listeners. I don't feel it's right that I'm gonna blast them, and I'm not gonna do that to their business. But if you guys personally want to know, reach out to me. I'll let you know who it is, so that you can steer clear of them and not spend your money with a company like that.
And if you're in a situation where you're thinking about buying something and you're wondering if it's legit, send us all that information. Mm-hmm. I was recently in a situation where somebody said something really rude to a family member, but it was kind of off. Whatever. I said, give me their phone number. Let's, have fun with them. That's a situation where I'm not scared. Like, I can block people on Facebook or block them with the phone number or whatever. We'll check it out and legitimize it for you and see if you're afraid to ask, if you piss somebody off, if it's a situation where they are going to scam you and you try to call them out and you're afraid they're going to, do something to you.
That was my whole thing is they were advertising. So I went through the comments seeing if anyone would ask them what the price is. Maybe they would post it. They weren't even going to post the price out there because they knew how ridiculous it was. They were just going to post that, hey, you give us $50 now, and I think they were giving you 100 days to pay it off.
Working in sales, I know once you have that personal conversation, once somebody messages you, you have a chance. Like, once you've clicked send message, type it in, and you've opened that line of communication, the chances of making the sale go way up. Because then they can contact you directly. Hey, what's going on? Christmas coming up. This is our last one. It's not just like you get another ad, and you kind of think about it, but it's like, no, a week later they message you back after you said no and said, hey, last one, if you want this before Christmas, and they're just bombarding you with that. That's situations where if they're not posting the price, I like to think about it. Okay, if you're not, who do you trust? You trust Walmart, you trust Target, you trust, what do? They post the price right there. Like, they may give you a range depending on, we have PS4s or PS5s from, I know, $600 to $900. I don't even know what they are right now. I don't even look. But depending on which model it is and things like that, but they give you their price. Yeah. If they don't give you their price, or another red flag that I've learned, if they disable comments, like you want to go look at comments and it says comments are disabled, that's another red flag. You screw with people, and because they can block anybody from their page where they can't share and tell you bad things about it, but you can block anybody from commenting. Just turn it off. And that's a situation where, unfortunately, with supply chain issues, with things where prices are going up, there's situations where you're getting scammed. Not only price gouging, but maybe, hey, we have this and they really don't have it.
On Monday, I'm going to try my hand at a PS5 at Walmart. And I might actually try, if I can, if there's no limit, I might try to get 2. So we may be helping out a family this Christmas if we can get a hold of it.
I was thinking Bryson was going to get my old PS4 because he asked for a PS5, and I'm like, dude, if someone's getting a PS5, it's me, and you can have my PlayStation 4. I'm not, but no.
I actually just had to give my PlayStation 4 to Landon. His just pretty much crapped out. It was the original PS4, and so
Oh man, I'm hoping mine does it. Mine seemed like it. I think at the beginning I may have to take it to the Zapata and see if he can do something with it. It's fine. He
usually does some cleanups.
But that's maybe what it needs. But it's been doing this forever. I think it was just a glitch on that one. And there's just like random things that happen. It's never crashed or anything bad like that. But it has issues staying connected to the internet sometimes. And it's just really weird things that happen on it. But it's been happening forever. And I'm like, okay, I'll just live with it. Maybe that PlayStation specifically just has a bug. And I've had it for years. I should have taken it when... actually, I think I got it for Christmas 3 years ago. But I may take it to Zapata and see if...
something to clean up and a refresh.
And reach out to us if you have questions. We're continuously growing what we call our Business and Beyond Army. Mm-hmm. So any questions, I recently had a listener reach out to me and said, hey, what's that phone repair company you always talk about? And I text him, it's Zapata. I sent him a link to Facebook and told him. And
keep an eye on Zapatas. I from time to time he comes out and he has a lot of products for sale. So maybe he'll have some good deals on some products, going into the holidays. And, I don't know, maybe these guys will have some Black Friday deals. I think, I could be wrong, but I want to say last year that Hawks Event Rental Services, they not have some kind of Black Friday deal or something that they had some deals
booking
on
in
there.
Advance.
If you booked in advance, I think they did have some deals. So,
and if they didn't, man, there's
make
another
sure
idea for
check
you.
them out.
Anthony.
Check out Zapata, and also check out our great friends at Cincinnati City. They've got a ton of products that are going to help out this holiday season.
And we talk a lot. I just mentioned, who are the companies you trust? Kind of model after them. We want you to go for those local businesses. Now, I'm one who believes we're in a world economy. You can't just say buy everything local. Don't, but it's
no.
There are a lot of benefits. We live in a connected world.
There's a lot of things that we have a worldwide supply chain.
Yeah,
and there's things that just come from other parts of the world, and I mean that's just how it is.
And if you wanted everything made here, prices would just be ridiculous. And we're not going to get into ethical issues here, but there are places and times to buy local. Amazon's not going to sponsor your baseball team, your local baseball team. If you do, maybe if you're friends with Jeff Bezos, sure. But in general, they're not. There's nothing wrong with shopping with Amazon, but maybe you can have that personal connection with Zapata or Junior Zapata or Anthony. It's a situation where, hey, this is what's you're purchasing, but maybe we can work something out to like, hey, can you do this? Can you deliver? I know Anthony's really good about, hey, this is what I'm delivering. You can make special requests sometimes. Don't quote me on that, but sometimes you can make it work because you're talking directly to him. It's not a situation where buying from a national company, and you can't call Amazon and say, hey, can you deliver my package at this time because no one's going to be home or something like that. The same with Zapata.
I've seen him mention that, if you need him to, he'll come pick up your device to repair it. You don't just have to bring it to him. I mean, he's very flexible like that as well. And the girls over at Cincinnati City, when I ordered some stuff last Valentine's Day, a package, they said, okay, how do you want us to ship this? What's the best, they made the arrangements to whatever worked good for me. And you support those local businesses that are willing to go that extra mile. I posted earlier this week on Facebook, I'm looking for, any of the local businesses that any of my friends know, or maybe I know and I just forgot about. Let me know. I have a lot of Christmas shopping to do in the next few weeks. I'd love to do some of it local. And just having ideas. Like, I don't know what I'm going to get you. Yeah. So it'd be great if one of these local businesses would...
Well, I'm glad you told me now. So we're buying each other.
It'd be great if one of these local businesses would come out and say, hey, you know what? We've got this. This would be great for, a gift for your brother or for, a friend or whoever. Like, those are things that we're looking for.
And like I mentioned with, Black Friday going from opening early and earlier, and now they're going back to normal. That's kind of what a lot of these values are coming back, where you're always buying from small companies, and then, Walmart shows up, and, God bless Walmart, we all shop there.
Yeah.
But then they make it more, they're more efficient. They make it more convenient for you to do this here, and so you stop doing that other stuff. But sometimes, these big companies are going to be the first to run out of stuff when there's supply chain issues because everybody's going to those Sometimes, obviously smaller companies have issues getting products in, but, you get with the right one, they may have that one gift you're looking for. Like, hey, I can't find this anywhere. Do you have it? Because
great. I don't know that I've ever seen it. It would be great if you had like early shopping for these small businesses. Like on Black Friday, they open at like 5 or 6 a.m. Like in your local town, and you have people just lined up to shop at these little boutiques or these little. Wouldn't that? Have you really ever seen that?
Yeah, I've seen Facebook. Cool. Yeah, I've seen on Facebook like Black Friday deals. I mean, with
but like
sports, I've done Black Friday.
Where people would like literally line up at your boutique or your small shop in town or something, like just like they would at Target or Walmart or Best Buy. That they would line up at your small business.
You'd like
that
to
would be
think
cool.
they would,
but that would be so cool. Wouldn't
it would be
cool,
that in your
town?
Or it's all about demand. You would hope that you have something that by 7 a.m. it's going to be gone. You better be here early.
But I think I don't know, man. Just a nuance to that. Really.
That's why
it'd just be a really cool. Like I would want to go and support that and show up and stand in line for half an hour just to walk into a small shop, just to be like, cool, yeah, I'm gonna buy this. I can get it this afternoon, sure. But it's just the idea of that, like.
That's what I was talking about, the camaraderie with it. Of Black Friday. Even my younger days, every Black Friday, I'm like, what's the deal? I want to go stand in line and be a part of it. Now it's.
I mean, we can remember as kids, like growing up, our mom, like that was a huge deal. That hey, we get up early, we're going, and sometimes we would go, and it was just cool. You go, you get like hot chocolate, and you go stand in line, and you do a little shopping, then you go eat lunch, and a little more shop. Like that was just like a real nostalgic thing.
Yeah,
still today is.
And like, now I know the day after Thanksgiving, I'm gonna sleep until whatever time.
I'm not trying to go anywhere.
I like that it's going on. Yeah. I like that it's happening. That I could just think random places there are people always standing in line, and it's it's for that reason. And I know I stood in line once at Blast from the Past Radio Shack to get a wireless keyboard and a radar detector and something else. And I was thinking the night before, I'm like, I don't know that anybody's going to go there for that. Like, do I need to go early? But I still went, stood in the line, and lo and behold, there were tons of them, and nobody cared about the wireless keyboard I was getting for like $5, and the radar detector I was getting for like $40. That was normally $100 and something. And it's like, well, I don't care. I had fun with it. I waited in line with lots of people, and there's lots of people doing it. Sometimes it's a fun thing. It's just like putting up Christmas lights. Like just the idea of, if you don't understand the context of something, it's kind of weird just to hang up a bunch of lights on your house, put up a tree in the middle of your room, wrap presents to open on a certain day, and it's like, but when everybody's doing it, there's a different sense to it, knowing that. Well, I was about to say something about milk and cookies, but I'm not. Just in case who's listening, I'm not going to say what we all think about milk and cookies, and who gets to enjoy those. But knowing that, hey, we're going to bed on Christmas Eve, and 80% of the world is doing exactly what we're doing, leaving milk and cookies out, presents, not watching the Christmas Story, whatever, name your Christmas movie. Yeah, it's just like
your normal holiday traditions that you would do.
Exactly,
and some that you grew up with that you try to carry on. I think that's probably why, like, talking about favorite Christmas movie, like the National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. I think that was our dad's favorite Christmas movie. And now it comes on, like, I think I just saw it on the other day. It was TBS or somebody.
TBS and TNT had the Christmas Story. I mean, not Christmas Story. What's the animated one? The Polar Express. It was all day Christmas movies. I'm like,
so that's the thing is, I saw that and I'm like, man, it sure is early, but you know what? I'm gonna watch a little bit of this. Just, it was again that nostalgic thing that we grew up seeing, and just it kind of molded what
and you kind of work your way, and you work like a Christmas movie a week until after Thanksgiving. Then you start watching a couple. Then like the week of Christmas, that's all you watch.
Oh shoot! And pretty much after Thanksgiving, our house TV, it's going to be on Christmas nonstop.
Yeah, they were talking about all the new Hallmark movies, and if you take just Hallmark Christmas movies, like not even all your normal, and these are terrible movies, obviously, but if you were to watch every Hallmark movie, Christmas movie Hallmark made, you would have to watch, starting on Thanksgiving, you would have to watch 4 movies a day until Christmas to watch all of them.
And I'm pretty sure my wife does that.
So probably, and you have to work your way with Christmas music, and it's just a certain thing where with supply chain issues, you want to make sure that, ordering something and getting it on December 26th is a lot bigger deal than you get an alert. Your package is supposed to be here any Friday, and now it's pushed to Saturday. You're like, oh well. But if it's supposed to get there, or I guess even if you're supposed to wrap it and give, if your gift isn't going to get there on Christmas Eve, it's going to get there sometimes Christmas. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
Just because you want to wrap that and have that under the tree for your children.
And that's a good thing to bring up. I mean, to combat that, man, I hate to be the one to say this. You got to start shopping now. You really
should have already been done shopping.
Supply chain issues now going on. I mean, I'm not going to mention it because I don't know if my son follows or listens to the show, but I ordered another good gift for him, and it actually was
better subscribe to our. Oh my god!
It was delivered today, but it was like delayed for a few days. I'm like, that should have been here like next day. Like, there's no reason it wouldn't be, from a local warehouse or something. It's like it was delayed. And I kept getting notifications from the store, and I'm like, man, I hope this isn't. And they're like, oh, if this doesn't show up by the 30th, then we'll refund your money. I'm like, no, I don't want you to refund. I want the product. Like,
yeah.
So, really, I mean, this holiday season, because of what we're talking about, the shortages in supplies, the increased costs, it will cost you more this holiday season. So, you really should have already started budgeting and hopefully have extra money for this, but now would be the time.
If you haven't already.
I
know a lot of people, our mother's already finished this Christmas shopping. And with Amazon, I had ordered one gift, and I had to get it because going out of town, out of state, next week we go ahead and celebrate Thanksgiving and Christmas, and I needed a gift for that. Oh, yeah. It was taking me a while to find the right one, and I found it, and it said it's going to be like Saturday something. I'm like, crap, what's the dates? And I'm like, it's going to get here this Saturday before we leave. So it's like, okay,
that's not delayed.
So if I would have ordered that a few days later, who knows when it would have showed up.
Yeah.
And it's not for a child, so it would have been fine. But in general, you know how they talk about different restaurants, like, why don't they just figure out whatever Chick-fil-A is doing right? Let's do that. I think just in general, because they were talking about Chick-fil-A ran the government, everything would be fine. I think if Amazon ran the logistics of the world, whatever logistics czar, whatever the highest possible person, transportation, someone logistics, high up in government, take Amazon's model, because I think there was about a week or two period right when all this crap started happening last year with the coronavirus that there was some issues.
Things were delayed, but after that,
if anything, it's that may be because we live in DFW. They're building Amazon warehouses like crazy. We're getting stuff sometimes same day.
Yeah,
and I don't live out in a rural area, so maybe it's different there. But man, whatever Amazon's doing, Amazon needs to get in the shipping business. I mean, the cargo shipping business. You see those Amazon Prime on the side of a cargo ship.
Yeah, seriously.
That and open
we
up
have
their
stuff
own
from
ports.
China here in 3 days.
Seriously, Amazon needs to open up.
And you know what? You say that. That's funny that Target, Walmart, Costco have all got their own ships now that they're running cargo for.
And it's not only that; it's having your own airline terminals. Mm-hmm. It's not like going in with everyone else. They have their own terminal. Like, it's not going to get backed up because it's only for them.
Yeah.
And I'm sure ports have the same deal.
Proprietary.
Yeah, and maybe Amazon has their own dock. And I'm sure Walmart and all them have it. But at a certain point, it's like, you can park there all you want, but you have to have somebody unload it. You have to have it, and that's where people need to be patient. If it helps to blame policies and things like that, and I'm not saying they have nothing to do with them. I don't know. I don't follow it that closely, but there are a lot of different factors happening. It's happening all over the world.
Yeah.
And be patient in general with companies, and especially smaller companies who they're shipping it through UPS or FedEx or whoever. Sometimes
which are having their own issues too.
Exactly. And we had a situation where, hey, coming up, not spoiler alert, but we're having a really good interview here coming up. An entrepreneurial author coming up, and I needed to get his book here for our YouTube viewers to show them on video.
Yeah.
And I could have ordered through his website or through Amazon. I paid a little bit more through Amazon to make sure I got it here before we had his interview. But in general, I'd probably go through him. It was, cheaper, but I don't know how long it's going to take to ship.
You hit the nail on the head on that is the patience factor of this. You through this holiday season, be patient. Shop for the best deals you can, but try not to overpay if you don't have to. On these items like these PS5s and these VR headsets and what else, all these things that people have that are going to be,
don't go into debt.
Hot commodities.
Or unless it's budgeted where you understand, I'm going to use my credit card, but I'm paying for this.
But here's a thought: if you can't find those items, don't stress out. Use gift cards.
Exactly.
Purchase gift cards for these to be purchased at a later date when they are
available. That TV you want is going to be marked down so much in January.
Wait until January, February to get those TVs.
They talk about toys.
Yeah.
The end of January, beginning of February, that's when their deal, sometimes earlier, but that's when deals go on because all this overstock that they didn't sell for Christmas.
My kids, and me personally too, I love to get gift cards, and I love for my kids to get, like, if someone asks me what to get, like, I get a little anxious when people are like, well, what can I get you for Christmas? What do you want? I'm like, I don't know. If I want things, I buy them, but you know what? If I got gift cards in February, March, or April, I'll go spend those gift cards at a later date when I really am, like, know what I want at the time.
That's funny you say
and my kids love to go and take gift cards. They love to go do their own shopping and pick out their own items. I mean, they love to get gifts, obviously, but they really like the opportunity to go and do their own shopping.
That's funny you mentioned that. It's like I can't figure out what to buy my wife. It's just when she wants something, she just buys it.
Yeah.
And then me, I'm like, that could be a Christmas gift or whatever. And I'm like, dang, you bought this, but like, why didn't you just wait and tell me you wanted that for Christmas?
Yeah.
So,
here's the thing
first
I do
world
is
problems,
I have a Prime, like a list on my Prime account, Amazon, and I add things to it all the time, right? Like, oh yeah, I like that. I add it to my list. And then I go through and I purge out my list. I'm like, yeah, I really didn't want that. Like, if I would have just went and bought it, then I would get stuck with it. But if I go add it to my list and I wait till a later time, and then I go through, I'm like, oh, you know what? Actually, really, I didn't want that bad. So let's delete that back off my list. So
man, that's a whole nother episode about patience, and that's how you can save money. We could have Dave Ramsey on and talk about that. No, he'd say just don't even add it to a list. Just never buy it.
No.
But yeah, just
if you don't have cash to pay for everything.
Yeah, in general, just go ahead and shop now, especially the small businesses. Yeah. Go ahead and give them an opportunity to be able to ship it if it takes, I remember the last time I've ordered something that it took 5 to 7 days, and that's not even a thing anymore unless you're a small business, and it may be because they're shipped standard, before Amazon and UPS and FedEx made 2-3 day shipping the norm.
Yeah.
But you order it now and you don't have to worry about it. More than likely, like some things you say it gets delayed and it gets pushed off, and it may not be.
Should be good now. I mean, really, and try to take advantage of those Black Friday deals. There are some good deals out there. Don't just go buy products though, just because you think you need it. That TV for $400. You don't need a new TV. If you don't need it, don't go buy it. Don't just go buy it just to buy it.
I got caught in this trap last year. You noticed the TV behind us if you're watching YouTube. It didn't matter what kind of TV I got. Like, it's just going to be, I have a Fire Stick for it. It's just for this building. It's for the studio. And I went on there and there was a great deal, an awesome TV for a certain price. So I was online to buy it right when I did it, and it was sold out immediately. Obviously, they may have had one. They may not even had them. But it is a trap because they know you were on there to buy a TV. You have committed yourself to spend money.
Yeah.
So I was going to, instead of buying a $100 TV, I got an $80 TV. It's a lot less of a TV. I mean, size-wise, it was the same, but it didn't have all the features and the qualities as the other one. But they're like, hey, and I was going to buy one anyways. I didn't just get on there thinking I'm getting this TV or nothing, and I'm on here. I'm disappointed, so now I have to buy a TV to fill that void.
Yeah.
But a lot of times that's what happens. Just be wary of that. If you're buying something, your kid wanted it and you've been waiting all year, sure, whatever, you're going to buy that. But if you didn't need a TV and you thought, man, that's a good deal on a TV, I'm going to go try to buy it.
Yeah. And
then you're like pissed when you don't have it. Like, okay, well, I'm just going to go buy this TV then because it's a good deal.
Yeah.
And yeah, $80 for a 50-inch TV is good, but it's $80. Did you need the TV?
Exactly.
Like, I'm embarrassed. I don't want to count right now. And I would have to count how many TVs I have for like the back patio, multiple TVs in the studio. And,
Yeah.
And I'm not going to tell you the number. First world issues, I guess. But don't buy things you don't need. Especially in supply chain issues. I'm not saying people need TVs, but there are people
like you said,
that really
in January
can use that TV.
Yeah, in January there's going to be a lot of products available.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I mean, people go out and impulse buy, and really that's what the retailers want. I mean, we talk about like, okay, these supply chain issues, we're not going to be able to find products. Think about who this is also hurting. It's hurting the businesses because their revenue, I can promise you, these big companies are not going to hit their numbers this quarter. With the supply chain issues, if the product's not there to sell, they don't collect money on that. So that's a bigger issue for those companies as well, of not meeting their quotas and their numbers.
Which is pretty interesting because it's Black Friday. The day of the year most companies move out of the red into the black.
Yeah. But with supply chain issues, that may not be the case.
Yeah, it may get pushed off. People may cancel. A lot of times Amazon, I'm like you in general. It's like, no, don't refund it. Just get it to me when you can get it to me.
Yeah.
Because if you refund it now, what I've been waiting for 2 weeks, I'm behind, and now I have to just send it when you send it.
Yeah, just keep it in there.
But yeah, in general, if you can hold off until after Christmas, you can get lots better deals. And like you said, that's why gift cards are a great idea, because you gift them and you still got them a gift. They got the gift right now.
Yeah.
Even though they don't have the physical item they're going to purchase later on.
Yeah.
Oh man, I love Starbucks gift cards. I try to shop at local coffee places, but Starbucks is good. And sometimes we'll go. We figured out what we want, where it's not really expensive. Of course, we don't shop every day. Speaking of Dave Ramsey, yes, we buy coffee at Starbucks. It's a service. That's why I say you buy. You use Uber Eats or
you're paying for not paying for the coffee. You're paying for the experience.
Don't complain when you're like, man, I could just go pick up McDonald's rather than ordering it off Grubhub. Well, that's the point. You don't have to go out and buy it. Yes, it's expensive. Buy you not Grubhub. What do I use? DoorDash. No, I use Grubhub. Do you the little $8 a month membership if you order it more than once a week, or order it more than once a month? Because no delivery fees. Yes, you still have to tip, and there are fees tied in. But you do that, especially when we were. And you get benefits. You get you get a $10 deal if you pick up the food. Like every month you get a free $10 perk to pick up, not delivery, and that pays for itself. So just make sure, like, hey, I pick up food half the time. I just use that $10 deal to pick up. But in general, things like that, yes, I could make coffee for 77 cents. And I understand maybe I'd be a billionaire right now if I made coffee every morning. And I do make coffee. I have coffee every morning, and I make it. Sometimes I go to Starbucks, but
no,
I suck at. I'll drink black coffee if I make it myself, because I can't make.
No, you're right. It's about the experience. I mean, for us, and this is especially the time my kids.
But first off, I was getting to the point, like, give me a Starbucks gift card if you want to get me something. Okay. I love Starbucks gift card because we'll go and use that on Starbucks.
My kids love to go and look at Christmas lights, and we'll do that several times throughout the holiday season. When everyone gets their stuff up after Thanksgiving, we'll go and we'll pick this neighborhood. We'll go tonight, and it might be a weeknight, like, after school time. It starts to get dark. We'll run, and my kids love to go to, especially Starbucks, and get a hot chocolate. And they do have good hot chocolates, but it's about them getting something, and it's the experience that they build through getting to get that hot chocolate, and it's a memorable thing for them year after year.
And it's like one of those things. There's scientific studies done. If you make your own sandwich as opposed to somebody makes you a sandwich, you enjoy that sandwich more, because something about you smelling and the senses, and it kind of dilutes that a little bit when you make your own sandwich. Yeah. In a situation where even if I could make exactly the drink I like at Starbucks, it wouldn't quite be the same. And it's not like I go to Starbucks every day. We're talking about maybe twice a month. Just like, hey, I dropped the kid off early. Call my wife. You want me to bring you Starbucks before I go to work? We each get our short drink, or it's tall, but it's a small drink. And like a coffee cake or whatever. Talk about supply chain issues. At least this local one that just opened up, half the time they tell us, can I get coffee cake? Well, let me make sure we have it.
Yeah.
First, like, they say that every time, and most of the time now they have. When they first opened up, they didn't very often. But it's you don't want to get up and make it. You'd rather just have it.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you don't make very much money and you're not good at saving money, or you haven't planned for your future or investing, and you can go through all the Dave Ramsey steps. Man, we're really bashing on Dave Ramsey. But you go through all
preface that. Hold on. But preface that with Dave Ramsey. This is actually where this topic came from. So kudos to the Dave Ramsey team. This was the topic they were talking about, and inspired us to do a little more deeper research on it. So
and what's his name, Mr. Incredible from Shark Tank. That's who I hear. Like, it's cost 77 cents to make your own coffee. I understand that. And when you tell me the math, okay, you spend $5 at Starbucks every day. Mine's $3.95. You know, I'm flexing that my Starbucks drink is $3.95. But if you buy it every day I'm not buying Starbucks every day. Yes, if you buy Starbucks every day, you have an issue. You need to slow it, unless you're just Mark Cuban or whatever. But if guys like that don't spend money like that, so that's kind of the, it's a catch-22.
That's not their target audience.
Exactly. And it's like, okay, I get what you're saying, but I'm not buying Starbucks. I'm not doing Grubhub every day. Me and my wife both work from home, and we had a set time for lunch. We would make our own lunch, but we would, do Grubhub or DoorDash or whatever once a week, sometimes twice a week. And it's like, I understand it adds up. We budget for that.
Yeah.
It all comes down to budgeting, and, don't get too much off topic about, we could have a show about budgeting and go over all this.
But it is a good time to kind of touch on the budgeting part is with the holiday season. I mean, you're probably a little too far into the holiday shopping season now to really budget.
And you want to be able to buy it early.
But be smart about what you're spending. And if you really don't need that $500 TV, save that $500, because that can go a long ways in your shopping.
And you can
because I think about it as like, I got my kids and my wife and my family, my nephews, and we have people to buy for. Okay, cool. And I get through that, and I'm like, oh wait. But now this family's, we have several with my wife's family and ours, and we have a lot of Christmases.
I still haven't heard you mention brother. I'm pretty far down on that list.
Every Christmas that we go to, every house that we celebrate, there's some type of game gift we do also. So it's like, I always forget about that. Okay, I got to get a $25 gift here and a $20 in here, and those are things that you just really slip up. And think about your additional spending when you go to these Christmases. Most likely you're taking some kind of side dish, or you're taking some kind of drink, or an alcoholic beverage maybe you're taking for these. So make sure you budget and think about that additional spending as well. Not just the gifts, but the time, your Starbucks that you're going to get when you go to see Christmas lights, or
if you're shopping all day, you're not going to come home and make dinner like you think
you want to grab something. Yeah, so think about those things aside from just the gifts you're trying to buy. Thank you again for supporting the Business and Beyond podcast.
Be sure to hit the subscribe button to be alerted every time we post a new episode.